So let's go to the sheet which we have. We'll have a first row which is going to be our header. Okay, so let's make it ID, username, project, date and time. And then let's just copy one or two max, I would say, because rest we are going to populate, so shouldn't be that much difficult. Okay, and let's just say 5, one more. Okay, copy paste and 3. Right, so we have these two rows, and what we right now want to do is achieve the ability to read from Google Sheet. Right, so let's go to our service file. Now we need to pass a dimension to the sheet. Okay, I mean, while we read the sheet. So to do that, basically we need to tell them that it's like sheet 1. Okay, and then I think it's colon or something like that, and A1 comma G1 2, the thing. So basically it's this convention which we are following. So we need to basically read from A1 and E1. Okay, A to E and then the number of rows. So we need to always specify the dimensions. And to do that, I think we will take some help from my friend's code base. So again, because he has already done that, so I would kind of just copy paste the part which is regarding the dimension. Okay, so come over here. I think there was get dimensions, right? So basically, if we look at this piece of function, it takes the spreadsheet ID. It uses the Google Sheet service, spreadsheet values, batch get the range. Okay, so it gets the columns first. Sorry, the major dimension being columns, so it gets the rows first. Okay, so A1, A to A, and then if you pass columns, if it will give me the row data. Okay, and if I then pass rows, it will give me the column data. Okay, so let's just see how this works. I'll come over here. It's a private function, so that's there. It depends on column length to column address. That's fine. I think it is here. Okay, this is a public function. I will make it private. I think I don't need this right now outside my class service. Okay, temp. I think we don't need to define temp. It is already here. Okay, and yeah, that's about it. I think first let's get the dimensions. So dimensions is this, get dimensions. The spreadsheet ID will be this, spreadsheet ID dd dimensions. And now how do we look at this data? Let's open up web.php. In here I will inject Google service as this and Google Sheet read. I'm doing a die dump, right? So that's fine. I think now I just need to serve, go to my browser, open up localhost, not 3000, 8000. Okay, it says Google Sheets API has not been used. That is a bit strange. I need to enable by visiting this, then retry. Let me see. I mean, in my previous project, I didn't face this problem. Okay, so I think from project to project you need to enable this. Okay, so in this project I have enabled Sheets API. Okay, I was wrong about it. So yeah, when you create that project, you need to enable the Sheets API for that particular project. That's a good way to control, what APIs one particular project is using. So now if I refresh, what should happen? It says Sheet API hasn't been used. Okay, wait for a few minutes for the action to propagate to our systems. Okay, I think, which will mean I need to maybe wait for a bit or refresh. Yeah, so we have it. It says my row count is 3 and column is still E. Is that correct? Yes, it is. I have 3 rows, including the header, and I have column still E. So as you can see, I mean, this I know took my friend, a lot of time to figure it out, but I think this helped me during my project. So yeah, again, a special thanks for that help which I have got. And now we have row count as 3, column count as E. So we can basically read a little more data. So inside here, what I can do is I can specify column range equals, let's just say sheet 1 colon 1 exclamation. I think it's exclamation like this, 1 colon 1. Okay, and once that is done, I need to specify range, which is sheet 1 a1 2. That will be my dimensions column count. Okay, so I am trying to read the range from a1 till the column count. So a1 2 dimensions dot column count. Okay, now column equals this. I'll use the Google Sheet service. It will have spreadsheet values as a function. Okay, and in that we do batch get, batch batch get. What does it take? Let's quickly look at it. It takes the spreadsheet ID. Okay, and it takes the optional parameters, which is the the column range and all those stuffs. So we have the spreadsheet ID, this dot spreadsheet ID. Let me make some space over here. It's going way in the end. So ranges, specify the column range, and major dimension is rows. Okay, so basically this will give me all the columns which I'm looking at. So let's just do a D and check what we get, so that you have some idea. I have removed the previous one. Yeah, so it's a batch get value response, value ranges, values 0. So basically I'm getting the first column over here, right? Why? Because my column range was 1 1. Okay, so what happens if I do 2? Let's just, hope I haven't made any mistake in here. Yeah, so the first one is the header, and then the next one is Andrew. That's exactly what is the convention when we use this column range. So we have the first column, but basically we need to read the data, right? So to read the entire data, maybe what we can do is data equals this Google Sheet service, again spreadsheet values, batch get And in the range, right, okay, first we need to pass the spreadsheet ID. And in the range, why don't we do column range? No, rather in the ranges, I'll pass this, which we got from the dimension that, this is my spreadsheet's range right now. So we don't need this anymore. Let's just say we keep it to the only data which we are interested in. I'll just get rid of that. And now if I look at the diagram, I ideally should get all the values. So we have value ranges. Fine. I have 3. And that means this is working because this will be the header, first row, second row, right? So we are able to read the data. If you want, you can also execute certain functions over here, get value ranges. I think that's how you will get directly to this. Okay, if I hit refresh, right, you can see I directly got that piece of information, and I haven't seen all those spreadsheet IDs and everything. So yeah, you can do that. And if after that you want to read these values, we will see how we can do that. So this is a function which returns an associated array. So I do 0, and then we have values, right? So I think this should work. Let's do a diagram and see. Yeah. So yes, we are able to read the data from Google Sheet, right? Let's just say this is what we are going to return. Copy, return this. So when we read the data, we get the values directly as an array. Okay. However, our main intention was not to read, but rather to write. Right? Okay. So now let's look at how we can loop through this data and write to Google Sheet.